Hello, my name is Jody Scholes, and I'm your instructor for the MBLEx Review course. Happy to be with you today. Look at our crowd, man. Look at this awesome crowd of people who are about to become licensed massage therapists. So exciting. So exciting. So today we're going to be talking about healthcare terminology. So we will be diving more deeply into how do we interpret. Okay, let's see. Sorry, I got to pause here for a second because got just a couple of microphones still open. Thanks for your patience. Okay. All right. So today we're going to be studying healthcare terminology. We're going to be taking a look at how do you interpret these words. We've got some long words that get thrown at us. And what is the philosophy here? So also you'll notice in the description of this class, there are a couple of links that are quite helpful. There are two lists that go over dozens and dozens of words. One list has 300 words on it. And as I prepared your class for today, I thought, okay, how are we actually going to tackle this? And so the approach you're going to be learning today is how to really dissect a word that you don't know. And so we'll put that into practice in today's class with healthcare terminology. But of course, I do class in 3 parts. The first part is some test taking strategy. The second part is going to be your learning. And then the third part will be dissecting questions. Each one of these sections of class are important simply because learning on its own is not quite enough. You actually need some strategies to take into the testing center, some strategies to keep yourself calm, as well as understanding how to get to the meaning of the questions. So, what are they truly asking? And that's what we do when we dissect questions. So um, we get to the meaning of the question. Once you have the meaning of the question, once you understand the question, it is remarkable. You actually know the answer. It's just understanding the question. And so that's why we dissect questions. So to start with today, uh, what I'm what I wanted to remind you of, the test taking strategy that I want to remind you of is to control what you can control on game day. Game day is the day you take the MBLEx. It's game day. And just like professional athletes prepare for their game day, you get to do the same type of preparation. Now, you may not adjust your eating, you may not adjust your exercise routine, but you are going to control what you can control. And right now, what that is your study time. You can control your study time. What else can you control? You can control what you study. And also on game day, this is very important for game day. You are going to control what you can control on the day you take the MBLEx, on the week you take the MBLEx. So you're getting good sleep the night before. You might be a little nervous. That's okay. We're going to practice this technique to work on our nerves in just a moment. But you're going to get a good night's sleep the night before. You're going to eat what you eat for breakfast. Plan what you're going to eat for breakfast. Don't leave it to, oh my gosh, what do I have in the fridge? Plan if you're going to have coffee or you're going to have tea. Plan your route to the testing center. I recommend you actually drive it the week before or the day before, depending on how far it is. Know how long it's going to take you to get to the testing center. Remember, you have to be at that desk 30 minutes prior to your test. Now, the MBLEx also now allows you 120 days from the time you get your authorization to test. So you actually get a full 4 months from the time you pay your money to actually schedule your appointment and take your test. So you only get 4 months. So make sure that when you got your authorization to test, you know when that expires. Also, if you end up changing your date, it's a $50 fee. So plan accordingly. Control what you can control, right? So even as far back as when you make your authorization to test, you go ahead and pay your money, and then you've got your 4 months. Tick tock, man. Game on. Yeah. Then you know you got to take it sometime within the next 4 months. And that's when you start to corral what you can control. And corralling what you can control simply means, again, the study time, your nutrition. Are you eating brain food? What's brain food for you? Sometimes it's coffee, sometimes it's chocolate. But are you getting some real food? Are you getting some whole food into your system? It can help with your concentration. But more so on game day. Well, I guess not more so, and especially on game day, making sure that you're well versed in how to get to the testing center, what door to go in, where to park, what you're wearing, eating, all of these things I'd like you to take into consideration and not just leave to chance, because you can control what you can control. But then there's some stuff you can't. And those are the times maybe we feel a little flustered. When I took the MBLEx, got the time of the test wrong. They almost didn't let me test because they're like, "You're late." And I'm like, that's not a good way to go into taking a test. But you know what tool I had in my toolbox? I had my breath. And so let's just take a minute before we go into our learning and breathe. I'd like you just now to think about your breath. Are you breathing in through your nose or in through your mouth? Let's switch that over to in through the nose. So let's go in through the nose and out through the mouth. So in, breathing in sunshine, breathing in light, breathing in cool air, breathing out warm air, breathing out heaviness, breathing out mud, breathing out stress, breathing out that which no longer serves us. Breathing in light, breathing in through the nose, love, breathing in acceptance, breathing in self-love, breathing out heaviness, frustration, the busyness of the day. Breathing in light, cool air, and breathing out all that no longer serves us. Do a body check right now. How are you feeling? Hmm. Feeling more grounded? You have that tool now too, the breath too. Practice using it. Can be very helpful. Ready to go into some learning? All right, this was learning for me too, because healthcare terminology is a new class. Here we are. All right. So, healthcare terminology. There's a lot of it. Um, However, why do we even care about learning healthcare terminology? Well, we do need to prepare for the MBLEx. But this terminology, and I promise you, it's almost like a second language or another language. Many of you already speak a second language, but it's like a lot of these words you're already familiar with, but it is like learning another language. It's the language of science. So to pass your MBLEx, you get to learn science language. It'll enhance the communication that you have with other healthcare professionals. It'll give you a better understanding as well of some conditions. So if you were to see lab reports with healthcare terminology or medical terminology on it, it's another word for this category, medical terminology. It'll help you make more detailed SOAP notes. It'll help you to understand pathologies. It'll help you to understand medications. It'll also give you more professionalism and more confidence, especially if you're having interdisciplinary discussions. What is interdisciplinary? Interdisciplinary, when you're talking with other healthcare providers about the treatment of this client. And of course, we need it for the MBLEx. It'll help. Watch. So I've put together um, the concept of healthcare terminology, and also want to give a great shout out to Rasmussen College. Thank you. I'm using your cheat sheet. There's some good stuff for massage therapists, but this is for medical professionals, and it really helps to understand what we're tackling, how to get your head around healthcare terminology. So take a look at this. This is the basic, just like all of our movement starts from anatomical position. Medical terminology has three categories, three parts of the word. Now, these three parts aren't in every word, but the long ones have them, and that is a prefix, a suffix, and a root. So the root word, you can understand like the roots of a tree, the basics of the word. The root word is going to be a descriptive word. The prefix, pre, is going to come before, and the suffix is going to come at the end. You may have learned this in high school or middle school, the prefix and the suffix. We're coming back to it. All right, let's take a look at this example. This is a very long word that would be very difficult to know what they're talking about. But let's see what we can recognize. So do you see this here, rhino, in the middle? So rhino, related to the nose, right? Rhinoplasty, related to the nose. Rhino. Think of that rhino with the horn, right? Rhino. So this is related to the nose. Where's my cursor? There it is. Larynge. Larynge, related to the larynx, right? Related to the larynx. We're going to learn these. Ology, the study of, like biology, right? And then OTO, O or OTO, often related to the ear. So, what do you think this means? It's an ear, it's the study of the ear, nose, and throat. Now, I have never even heard this. That's probably why they use ear, nose, and throat doctors. But yeah, so otorhinolaryngology. Otorhinolaryngology. Big long word, but now can you see it? We've got a prefix related to the ear. This is actually all a root word. These are all roots. There's not really a prefix in here. So most medical terms come in just two formats. Yeah. So you're going to have a root with a suffix, or you're going to have a prefix, a root, and a suffix. All of the medical terminology has a root. Some have prefixes. Most have suffixes. All right, let's take a look a little bit closer. What is a prefix? So, oops, sorry, I move a little something here. There we go. So what is the prefix? Prefix is found in the front. It's a descriptive word that is going to be describing the root. So it's about, we'll see more. We'll see some examples in just a minute. But the prefix comes in the front, and then, of course, the suffix comes in the back. And it's usually indicates a procedure, a condition, a disorder, a disease, the study of. It's making that word a noun, usually. But we're not going to bother about the grammar here. Let's take a look at some root words that you are going to need to be familiar with. And you'll have access to this worksheet also as an attachment in the class. So once this recording gets posted, I'll also post this as a chart, and you can print it and have it with you. So take a peek. Gastro. So these are the root words that relate. These are the root words as they relate to what part of the body. Gastro, so a gastroenterologist. Our gastro doctors, gastro relates to the stomach and to the intestines, actually. Nasal passages, right? Refers to the nose. So does rhino. Rhino refers to the nose. Op, like ophthalmologist. Sorry, this view is making me cuckoo. There we go. Thanks. Ophthalmology, the study of the eye. Pneum, this is pronounced pneum. So like pneumonia, right? Pneumonia, air, lungs. Myofascial, myofascial, muscle and fascia. Myo usually relates to muscles. Cardio, if you go and you do cardio at the gym, right? Cardio training relates to the heart, cardiovascular system. A cardiologist, heart doctor. Artho, remember this one? Relates to the joint. Osteo, relates to the bones, like osteoporosis. Nephro, do you know that one? Nephro? Nephro refers to the kidneys. So a nephrologist is actually the doctor for the kidneys. Mammo refers to the breast, like mammogram. Testosterone, that refers to the testes. And we've got glucose, glucose. So glucose, glycogen. Glucose and glycogen are somewhat synonymous. They just mean sugar, sugar. And then neuro, referring to the central nervous system, neurosurgeons look for how nerve pain. So it's relating to the nerves, but it also is relating to the brain. Next slide. Here are some common prefixes. All right. So we're going to use these prefixes in a word. So a or an. So analgesic. That's so without, not, a lack of, um, anaerobic. Um, so we'll move through these, but analgesic. That analgesic is a word that means aspirin. So an analgesic cream is a cream that is designed to help with pain, to be without pain. Uh, dys, dys, dysfunction, bad, painful, difficult. Dysrhythmia, so the disruptive, right? Abnormal rhythms. So dysrhythmia, abnormal rhythms. Why don't they just say abnormal? Next question. What does subcutaneous mean? Over the fingernail, B, under the fingernail, C, under the skin, D, over the skin. So this is a word that we can identify the prefix and the root word, right? And this is a word you may be familiar with. So when we identify the prefix, what do you think the prefix is? Once you identify the prefix, you'll know it's not over the fingernail, right? Good. Oh, we got a lot of answers here in the chat. Let's take a look. Ooh, be careful. Be careful. All right, good. Aita, you got it. Yep. Zoom, yep. Yes, the prefix is sub. What does a sub do? Where does a sub go? Where does a submarine go? Over the sea or under the sea? Mm-hmm. Good. Ah, there you go, Billy K. Yes. Good. Excellent. Good. Best answer? Oh, I best answer is letter C. It should be bolded and it should be green. So subcutaneous. Subcutaneous. Sub meaning under, cutaneous meaning skin. So under the skin. So sorry, my fault. My bad. So letter C is the correct answer. The bicep muscle has how many, the bicep has how many muscle heads? Again, look at the prefix of that word. What is the prefix? How many heads does the bicep has how many heads? A, 4, B, 3, C, 2, D, 1. Liza, yes. Ms. V, what letter? Good. Jessica, good. Latrice, good. Hi. Rico, you got it. Yep. Lana, good. Yes, Tiffany. Yes, Dwayne. Yes, good. Good, Aite. Marina, yep. Anastasia, yep, sure does. Billy K. But look at the prefix, right? That's how we know. Good. Yes, Billy K. Yes, Miss V. Good. Yes. So let's eliminate one wrong answer. We know it doesn't have 4 heads. That would be our quad, right? 4 sides in a quad. Bifocals. How many lenses in bifocals? Bi. Best answer, C, 2. But the bicep, right? 2 heads, bicep. Quad, 4. Quadriceps, 4, right? So why aren't the hamstrings called try something? Well, we got the tricep, right? So the tricep has 3 heads. So good, good. Can you believe you're doing this? You're dissecting a word. Nice. That is a wrap for today. Woohoo! And so healthcare terminology adds to your professionalism and gives you confidence as far as understanding what actually lab reports, prescriptions, different conditions, even in reading. It can give you a better understanding and therefore give you more confidence. Let's jump to this view. Very good. Just want to say thanks so much for being here. Thanks for studying today. Great work. I'm going to hang out for a little while longer with the students who are live in class with me, answer any questions that they may have. But for you listening later, thanks again so much for being here. My name is Jody Scholes. I'm your instructor for the MBLEx Review course. We'll see you again real soon.